Tommy Dreamer, Mickey James, and Thunder Rosa.
The best wrestling talk show in the world.
Busted Open, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern on Sirius.
Let's go out to Savage in Whitestone. What's going on, Savage?
Got our very own Savage in Whitestone.
What up, Savage? Savage in Whitestone. Welcome to Unlocking the Cage, my man.
Shout out to Bully Ray, bringing on his favorite. We got Savage from Whitestone closing down the show here on
the nation. Let's go out to our good friend Savage in Whitestone. What's going on, Savage?
Gonna keep it real. Savage out in Whitestone. What did you think about Jeff Jarrett last night?
But Bully's favorite call, Savage. Savage, you got 50 seconds, buddy. To one of my favorite callers, Savage in Whitestone. What's going on, Savage?
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for watching Becoming Savage. Let's take a look at my public school, the first school I ever went to, PS 70, where I took over that school like I'm trying to take over professional wrestling. I look at my house, down the block from my house, a wrestling school opened up and it changed my life forever, and I'll never forget it. I loved Astoria. Growing up in Astoria was absolutely amazing, and I always wonder, how did I go from a fan to a wrestler, and now I'm a manager? I'd say it's because of my grandfather. Probably the best man I ever knew. I loved everyone that I ever met in my family. They're all good people from Kriti, from Athens, all over Greece. My mother, my father did their absolute best to give me a great childhood that I could be proud of and happy. They named me the Brown-Eyed Savage from birth, and from a baby, I feel like I knew I was destined for more. I am the one that's going to set this family apart and take us to the next level and give us everything we need, the generational wealth that I not only deserve, but demand to take care of my family and provide the kingdom that will feed many people. Because that kid right there, that young child right there knew he was going to be a absolute savage, a Greek savage, born and raised in Astoria, New York, wrestled from the age of 13 years old. They said I was going to be a pro by the time I was 20 on the cover of a newspaper. Best student at my school. I was even going to have a reality show on MTV. Big shout out to a young Cree text, another Greek American just like me. And let me educate you about the Greeks. We invented everything that you use in your life every single day, from tools to wheels to, good God, theater, politics, the Olympics, professional wrestling. We invented it because we are ancient history, which they don't teach anymore. But know this about my island, Kriti: best beaches, best people that take you off the street and feed you like you're their own. And it's just the best island in the world. It absolutely is. Wrestling is in my blood. I've been wrestling for thousands of years. I've been a warrior hundreds of times, reincarnated over and over again, chopping off heads and bringing down kingdoms while building my own. Very proud Greek American here. But you know what else I'm proud of? Growing up in Astoria in the 80s, watching movies like Batman, Ghostbusters, Nightmare on Elm Street over there, Mike. It was the best. It was the best. Growing up, going to Play World with my grandfather, going on shopping sprees, buying everything I wanted: Nintendo, Ninja Turtles, He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Astoria's got a lot of history. It also has an Olympic-sized swimming pool with a $2 billion reinvestment project coming up. Dr. J's is where you went to get the newest J's, the Tims, and all the flyest gear. I went to the best art school in the country, Art and Design. Growing up in Manhattan, in New York City, how could you not grow up loving video games? It just didn't happen. Arcades everywhere. Nintendo was everything as a child. Mario Brothers, playing it for 24 hours. The first time I got it with my mom, it's the first and last time she ever played a video game with me. All these games you're seeing right here: GoldenEye, No Mercy, Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid. These games were all inspirational to me. They allowed me to be whoever I wanted. They allowed me to escape reality. I was a world champion in Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon. I still play PUBG. I play Warzone. Add me on Xbox. Greek is savage. Video games were always awesome. They still are. I still love them. But you know what else I loved? growing up, the WWF, Andre the Giant, man, watching him get slammed by Hulk Hogan. This moment is one of the first moments I ever remember in my life, 3 years old, watching everybody lose their minds as Andre the Giant got slammed to the mat by Hulk Hogan. How can you not be inspired by these men to want to be great? The Ultimate Warrior winning and beating Hulkster was unbelievable. Macho Man, Undertaker, both top of the line. Ric Flair, truly inspirational. Mr. Perfect and Roddy Piper both should have been world champions, just like Jake the Snake. What he did to Macho Man with a snake, I'll never forget. Ted DiBiase, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Rick Rude, all top of the line. Legion of Doom, best tag team of all time. Rockers, most inspiring tag team of all time. And how can you say wrestling is not inspiring? All those pay-per-views, I looked forward to them all year long. They were special when it was for a year. Stone Cold, Bret Hart. That's what made me want to become a professional wrestler. That's how good that match was. My favorite match of all time. Stone Cold elevated the game to another level that I didn't even think it could get to. Watching Triple H, the cerebral assassin, work was an honor. It was a pleasure. Watching Icon versus Icon, maybe one of the most special moments of my life. It was like a dream come true. And dreams do come true. You just have to make it happen. You have to believe. You have to manifest it. And I manifested this. I wanted a video game store because I wanted a huge collection, and I just wanted a cool place to hang out where kids could come play video games all day for cheap, meet professional wrestlers, buy games, trade, compete, tournaments, anything you wanted. I had over 10,000 games to choose from, a very beautiful pre-owned selection, any brand new game you wanted cheaper than anywhere else, and it came with a free milkshake. We had food, snacks, beverages, internet, comic books. It was an absolute blast running this place, and I learned a lot about life. I learned a lot about business, opening your own business. You're content to do that. After this, I got a job at CEX, which is a $1 billion company, which allowed me to live a good life. What are you doing here? What are you get Benny Mac out of here? Who? You're fired. Happy wife, happy life. Just nod, boys. The best thing I ever did in my life was bring this little prince to life, my wife. Also, a very special thank you to all my friends who have joined me on Wrestling with Savage over the years to provide you with wrestling content, weekly updates, and also when I started doing the podcast, that really changed my life. I started collecting figures, more titles, getting involved in the world of professional wrestling, going to shows, getting more guests on my show, getting wrestlers on my show, doing interviews, going to independent wrestling, and I knew if I kept going, it would just get more serious, and that's what happened. It got very serious. I mean, I started going to independent shows 4 or 5 times a month, and it bothers me that all these years I didn't even know so many of these beautiful independent companies that are here, right here in New York City, in Pennsylvania, in New Jersey. But again, big shout out to Jay, always been there, a lifelong member of the Savage Kingdom. There's the hand of the King Gilch right there. Savage Kingdom wouldn't be possible without him. And we even did award shows. We're going to do that yearly, by the way. Cheap plug for WrestlingWithSavage.com, man. I mean, the wrestling universe also helped us tremendously by bringing superstars like Ken Anderson. I got Ken Anderson on the podcast because we had a conversation. We hit it off. And then I hit it off with this guy. I started listening to Busted Open. They told me, you got to listen to Busted Open, man. You have to listen. So I started to listen to Busted Open, and David LaGreca and his passion for this business inspired me. And the passion in me is so intense when I get involved with something. I take it over the top. So I represented Busted Open everywhere I went. Sweatshirts, giant David LaGreca heads. I would call in all the time. And we had such a good time, and we still have a good time every time I get a chance to call in. Now I'm so busy because Busted Open, like I said, one of the inspirations that has made me become a Savage all over again. Savage is here to stay because of Busted Open, because of David LaGreca and Tommy Dreamer and Bully Ray and Mark Henry and Thunder Rosa and Mickey James and the whole cast and crew. From Busted Open. I mean, I got so involved that I would start going to their events. If Bully Ray was going to be at a show, on the phone, my man Bully Ray wanted a barbed wire baseball bat and a stop sign. And I got it for him. It's not every day that you're going to hear Bully Ray say, "Good job, Savage." So I took that in, man. That meant a lot to me, watching him use it on Matt Cardona.
Do you watch Busted Open? Do you watch Busted Open?
From Wrestling with Savage, the best wrestling show on at night. But this is Dave LaGreca. We host Busted Open, the best show 9 to 12 every day on Sirius XM. And you can't take Dave. Don't take Dave. They're taking Dave LaGreca. They're taking Dave LaGreca.
Yeah. And who let Savage in the building?
I have no idea, but somebody should throw him out.
Savage is looking dapper out there in the crowd. But
Welcome. How you doing, sir?
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I just want to say you are listening to Wrestling with Savage. I'm told the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Possibly true.
It was a biased opinion.
Oh, it is definitely the greatest podcast of all time. And Creative Pro was such a fundamental part of becoming Savage, going to all the shows, supporting Busted Open, supporting Bully Ray, watching him work with the students, the kids, the place where MJF came from. He was so good with the fans, so good with the kids, in tremendous shape. At that point, that's the best shape I had ever seen him in. And then guess what? He's in even better shape now. So big shout out to Bully Ray, Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, everybody from Creative Pro. Aaron Rourke is a star. They make stars like MJF. It's true. I got to talk to MJF. I got to meet MJF. I now know MJF's father. I know his mother. And Max, you better be nice to your mom. Next Mother's Day, she better get a tremendous present, because if she calls me up and says anything other than that, we are going to have issues, Max. I told you. Soon enough, you will see the Savage Kingdom and you will feel the Savage Kingdom. But on another note, it was awesome to tell your mom that you were going to win that championship, and then we watched you win it and become one of the best heels in the business today. I mean, you inspired me just like David LaGreca did, maybe even more so, because you have everything it takes. You're amongst all these greats. You have the stuff that legends are made of, and that's why I started collecting. I collect figures of wrestlers that I love and respect and admire and have stories and history with. And then I went to ISPW in New Jersey, and I saw Afa Jr. wrestle for the first time. Samoan Dynasty bloodline member. I mean, the son of Alpha, half of the Wild Samoans, one of the greatest, most powerful tag teams of all time. He is part of the bloodline. And watching him wrestle at ISPW was a life-changing event. Seeing Maven there, Bull James, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Tommy Fierro and the whole Front Row Mafia and all the crew and fans from ISPW, man. Rick Recon's a star. Sorry about that DDT, Bull James. My God, another DDT from Tommy Dreamer. You go to ISPW, family fun, great professional wrestling from the ladies like Vicious Vicky or Tina San Antonio, and Busted Open was always well represented at ISPW. And this was the place where I met Afa Jr. and I asked him to come on my podcast. We went out for Greek food and we started to talk. We started to get close. We started to become friends, and something started cooking, and it cooked very well, and it's still cooking. I don't know if he wants to admit it, but Afa Jr. is certainly a big part of me becoming Savage.
Greek Savage, man. Well, he certainly knows how to get attention in any room that he walks into. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's usually one of the qualities that people look for, so he has that going for him.
Accepting Afa Jr.'s invite, I went down to the battlefield and I got familiar with the staff. He gave me an opportunity to do commentary that night, and I did. I thought I did a pretty tremendous job, say so myself. But at the end of the day, it was a learning experience. He looked at me and said, "Next time, come in a suit." And from that moment forward, I made sure not only did I have a suit, but I had a suit for every month of the year. Then I started going to Outlaw Wrestling because Alpha was the heavyweight champion there as well, having bangers with guys like Homicide. His cousin Jacob Batu was coming through, Speedball Bailey. Outlaw does some really good shows. Check them out. They do shows in Brooklyn and in Queens, and they bring legends like Mark Henry, who, by the way, said he thinks I have a future in this business. But you can see the transition. I was at Outlaw. I was doing interviews. I was promoting Wrestling with Savage. Alpha tells me to get a suit. You get suits. You get 12 suits. You get 20 suits. Commentary, my first time ever at the battlefield, will always be special in my heart, working with a guy like Phil Insane. Tom over here can't do anything right without proper direction, and even with proper direction, he actually does a worse job. But working at the battlefield, bringing them cake and cookies from Martha's Country Bakery, because they inspired me to be great. They inspired me to be savage. Everyone I worked with on the staff, the students, the wrestlers, working alongside legends like Sabu, working alongside the indie god Matt Cardona, interviews, talking with him, learning from him, absorbing knowledge from him, asking questions, asking the right questions. I mean, Matt Cardona likes me. He liked me enough to reach out to me to get a deal with Marty Jannetty for a big rubber guy, and we got that deal done, and I'm sure I'm going to do a lot more business with Mr. Cardona. By the way, he should be headed to the WWE real soon. Just an FYI. Big shout out to Matt Cardona, who's always a class act. He also came to the battlefield and had bangers with Casey Navarro.
My face, guys, I promise I am going to be on eventually. Next week, next month, next year, I promise. I will be on your show when I have time to get on top of my wife, take a shit, not in any particular order, then I'll come to your show, okay?
Sounds like a plan here with Matt Cardona. You heard it. He promised on Wrestling with Savage.
If you're looking for one of the best professional wrestlers in the world today, one of the most professional wrestlers in the world today, look no farther than Casey Navarro, current Battlefield World Heavyweight Champion on TNA right now, absolutely slaying it. Gets gold almost anywhere he goes, shows up to shows not only on time but early, usually looking better than everyone, being more prepared than everyone, and he truly is a lifelong fan of the business. This was an inspiring moment to watch him beat Matt Cardona, his favorite wrestler growing up. That's why I had to work closer with Casey Navarro, and we became good friends along the way, working with him at WrestleBash. If you are out there and you need someone for your show, look no farther. Hire Casey Navarro. He truly is blessed, and I appreciate everything he has done for me, for the battlefield. Like I said, watching him work, I try to observe from everyone that I work with and learn and absorb their knowledge and try to understand how they look at this business, because everybody's got a different perspective, and Casey Navarro has one of the best perspectives you can find in the business. And watching him hold that gold, winning that gold, you knew it was special. You felt it in the air. He is special. You know who else is special? Mean Gene Snitsky. Another reason why I love showing up to Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania every month, for the chance of getting to work and cut a promo, do an interview with Gene Snitsky. This guy is an absolute legend in this business. His work in WWE is very impressive. I was scared of this guy when he first showed up to the WWE. Hell, I'm still scared of Snitsky, and it's not his fault. But you know whose fault it is? It's probably Tony's fault. I told this bum not to show up at the battlefield, but yet here he is showing up again and again. And you can see here, I had to clean his clock a few times. And next time, Tony, that chair shot's coming straight at your forehead, and it's not a hard target. It's pretty big. Savage ain't playing around, man. In front of your granddaughter or whoever the hell that is, I don't give a crap, Tony. And championship material, Vinnie Mac, you're messing with me again. I'm sick of seeing your stupid face. I don't care if you have gold. I don't care if you're the new BPW, whatever champion, tag team champion. You drink and you wrestle. It's unprofessional, and it's going to cost you big one day. And Savage is going to make sure he's there to enjoy it when it happens, Vinnie Mac. With all that being said, he is impressive. He is a stud. Joey Martinez is also a stud. battlefield is filled with studs. And now here's a shot of Mr. Vinnie Mac winning gold recently at the battlefield. Makes me want to vomit, god damn it. You gotta respect the cheater though, right? You gotta respect the cheater.
Hey, just wanted to get your quick thoughts on what you think about Greek Savage.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit? You're just mad because your real parents left you in a trash can and Joey's got a better body than you, bro. Be honest. Oh, I'd be scared to get in the ring with Bull James. I would. Well, apparently he is too.
Greek Savage.
Yes.
Listen, a lot of people gonna talk and say all this and that about Savage. Savage is the man, bro. He can dress good, you wear good shoes, you wear good suits, he talk his shit. I like Savage, actually. That's Dio Bando approved. Talk about Savage, Coach.
Savage, yeah. You know, I got a lot to say about Savage.
Go ahead.
Most importantly, fuck him.
Oh God!
That's all I got.
Oh God!
We done?
Oh God!
We're done? All right,
No, fuck to Savage.
The flash is hurting my eyes. So anyway, where'd you get your shades from?
Listen, I got...
Stop it, Joey. You got those shades at Kmart. Let's be honest. The only thing you're closing is bank accounts because you don't have any money. Bull James, Danny DeMonto, always a good time at the battlefield. Make sure you check them out. You want to talk about raw power? You want to talk about someone that's scary? Someone that will make you feel every punch, kick, swing, power bomb, pile driver, DDT, anything else you can throw your way. Bottles, tables, bats, barbed wire. Phil Insane is just that. He's insane. They call him the Mad Butcher. And if you see him, make sure you run away. Don't go near Phil Insane. Don't go near the Mad Butcher. He will kill you, and he will love doing it. Back to Dio Bando. Like I said, this kid is a class act and another hard worker, maybe even earlier than me at the gym, putting in the work, preparing alongside Code Red, the OG, the one who's been holding down this faction for a long time, and they do nothing but win at the battlefield. Trey Heat putting in the work, powerhouse. Prime Time Heat is serious business. One of the best factions on the scene today. Expect to see them on the big screen soon. WWE would be happy, would be lucky to have Prime Time Heat. Dio Bando has so much potential, and it's just waiting to be unleashed, and you can see it live now while it's percolating and formulating and getting ready to shine.
What do you mean when I think about Greek Savage?
Yeah, love him, hate him.
He's the man. He holds it down, you know what I mean?
That's it?
What else is there to say? The man's, you know what I mean? He's a stand-up dude. What can I say about it?
All right. Thank you.
Andrew Anderson will kick your ass and definitely not feel bad about it. This veteran has forgot more than you will ever learn about professional wrestling. Arson Kruger, scary name, deadly body, insane moveset, smart guy as well.
Greek Savage? I think he's a pretty cool guy, honestly. You know, if I ever decide to have a manager one day, I'd pick him.
Charlie Tiger, a very hard-working man, getting ready to kill the business like he almost killed Code Red right there. Watch out for him. Danger Jameson, you never know what you're going to see from him. He might pull off a stunt. He might have a technical sound match. Maybe walk the ropes. Might even talk to your mom. Dan Moff. Talk about scary. Talk about intimidating. Seasoned veteran who is very dangerous, gets extreme pleasure from hurting people. Working alongside him, I have learned a lot. This man's knowledge goes deep in the business, and he gets in the ring with just about anybody, including the current WWE World Tag Team Champion, Jacob Fatu. He was able to put Jacob Fatu through a table. That's how bad he is. But Jacob Fatu, though, this is a certified man beast. This is someone who's had one of the biggest, greatest debuts in WWE history. You'll never see anybody else come out and beat 3 baby faces on night 1. What a splash from Jacob Fatu, but let's talk about J.J. Smith. What can we say about him? Very smart man, obviously, teaming up with superstar V. Marino to form Team VJJ. He's always in the books. He's always learning, and he's come a long way in the year that I've known him. Actually, I think almost 2 years now. J.J. Smith, quite the character, quite the wrestler, and I think he has a bright future, especially if he sticks by V. Marino's side. Encore, we've seen him on AEW. He strives for perfection in the battlefield, and it's been a pleasure to watch him wrestle damn near perfect every time he steps in the ring. Encore is a superstar. The resident monster at the battlefield, Dark STG. Whether you're a fan or an opponent, it does not matter to him. He will have no remorse against anyone in his way. Jordan Oliver, you've seen him around the world having some of the fastest, most intense, high-flying action in the world today. He is a future world champion, and you can see him at the battlefield. Tiffany Grady has a very big mouth, but she's also got a very strong right hand. A pretty good spear, too. Don't piss her off. Don't get on her nasty side. Kate Thorne not doing a good job of that so far, but she's over here opening a can of whoop-ass in Broadheadsville. Crossbody for the win, and she has improved dramatically. As a matter of fact, the entire women's division, with the help of Tina San Antonio, is picking up. Business is picking up, and the action is must-see at the battlefield. That's why I'm there every month. That's why I am there, to see this amazing, incredible professional wrestling live in Broadheadsville every opportunity I get, and I expect big things from these two. Lance Anoa'i, Samoan Dynasty, probably headed to SmackDown or Raw any day now, and I gotta say, I call him a friend. He is my oos. Very impressive, and you got to see the shape he has gotten into recently. He looks tremendous. Lance Anoa'i, a superstar. Malik Delvante has everything it takes to get to the top of the battlefield. He's got a best friend in Casey Navarro, and you can see that is paying off, because he is improving every time I see him. He's getting faster, he's getting stronger, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. Here at the battlefield, now take a look at a real-life giant. His name is Ox Adams, and he has scary strength. I mean, he's out here double choke slamming tag team after tag team. He's been in the ring with Snitsky and other giants, and I don't think he's ever even had a real problem or a real threat yet. Philadelphia Playboy, he's got plans tonight, and they're probably with your mom, maybe your sister. He definitely has courage. He has heart. You have to step in the ring with a monster like Moff and Phil Insane. Philadelphia Playboy is a hard-hitting wrestler who is ready and down to fight next to Logie P. They combine forces to bring you two in the pink. And you better watch out when they're on the card. Logie, what are you doing over here letting little kids kick the shit out of you? And then Joey and Vinny again, you can see why they're scumbags sticking you in a garbage can. I'm sorry for that. RJ Carnage! Don't blink or you will miss it. This kid is money. Fast, efficient, effective, intelligent. Has precision, execution, and you can see that big things are ahead for RJ Carnage. Here is Sam Adams, and not only can this guy talk on the mic, but he can wrestle in the ring. Strong, savvy worker, understands how to make people tap out. Sean Maluda, right now, probably the most hated man at the battlefield. 1 month he's loving his cousin, and the next he's hitting him with a steel chair. Not once. He hit him before as well. But look at this. Look at that kick to the... How could you do that to your cousin? How could you... What a piece of shit. And you made me curse in my own documentary. However, regardless of what he's done to his cousin and his family's legacy, tarnishing it with his bullshit, he's out here putting on bangers, putting down people like Jordan Oliver, and he's ready to take his place at the top of the battlefield. Now, this man right here, Jimmy Conway, this is a hard-working man. good father, even better wrestler. Luca Brasi! Jimmy Conway, South Philly's finest. One of the best tag teams working today. They should be on Monday Night Raw. They should be on SmackDown. Hell, they should be at WrestleMania. They understand the business maybe better than anyone at the battlefield. Veterans, champions.
Savage? You're looking at a real savage. I'm not even gonna call you Savage no more. They're gonna change your name to Home Before the Streetlights Come On. Yeah! You're looking at the best, the finest. You ain't no dog, you ain't no Savage. You know why? 'Cause I am. You ain't me, and I ain't you. Bank on it.
A savage, huh? Well, let me tell you about a thoroughbred. Terry Adonis at the battlefield right now has every single attribute you would want in a professional wrestler. Has Randy Orton-like qualities, insane vertical speed, strength, good looks, charisma, personality, charm. Terry Adonis has all of them. Check the box, because he has it. And he has a future ahead of him. I wouldn't be surprised. He might be the youngest world champion we've ever seen at the battlefield. Stay tuned. The brothers Gray have made their mark on the battlefield, and it will never be the same again. They have laid down the gauntlet against the Vetrano brothers, and they want those tag team titles, and I think they're willing to do anything it takes to get them. You can see them here attacking the Vetrano brothers out of nowhere, making it known that they want that gold, and that's what you got to do, Rico Gold. If you want the gold, you got to make it known. Maybe you stop coming out here dancing around and focus on an opponent like Arson Kruger. Now, Superstar V Marino, his middle name should be Focus. Superstar V Focus Marino should be his name, because he is laser focused. He has everything that a professional wrestler needs to survive in this business. The right mindset, even the right haircut. He looks like he's out of a time machine from 1985, and I dig it. I dig it. High flying action, best pile driver in the game, intelligent, smart, has money as well, has class, has style. Superstar V Marino is exactly that, a superstar. Yes, he is. If you want to see him while he's still at the battlefield, head on down now.
Marino, the new Futures Champion, Daddy!
Probably not a question you want to ask me, of all people, if I'm being honest. Savage is all right. He's all right. He got a big mouth. Hey, I'm one to talk too. I can talk all day, but Savage, you know, he's all right. He's all right when he's not around me. If he's not around me, he's an okay guy. Around me, different story.
Let me introduce you to the current BPW Tag Team Champions of the World, the Vetrano Brothers. And I've seen their rise from the bottom all the way to the top. And they like to say it's going to be a barn burner. Because guess what? So far, from what I've seen, it's banger after banger. They remind me of a young Hardy Boys. And here we have Vicious Vicky. And I must warn the women of the battlefield, Vicious Vicky is not here to make friends. She's going to hurt somebody. So make sure you stay tuned. It's going to be good shit.
I tell you the same thing. It's always the same What is this?
I absolutely love your work. Can you please sign it? Please?
Sign what? That?
Yeah.
I don't do autographs like that. You don't walk up to me in the street. Who do you think you are? You're coming over here, coming up to talent. I don't care if you're a fan that comes and enjoys the shows. Take your little picture and go back inside and get the hell out of here. Security, come get rid of this fan. I don't know what this is. Do your job.
I don't know. This guy.
Do your job. Leave this shit back to you. I told you 1,000 times, dumbass. Why are you fucking pissing me off every single time you come out here? You're talking all this shit, and you can't even do one thing I asked you to do. Not one thing. Not one.
The worst part about fans like this, like Tony, they just don't listen. They don't learn. It's not their fault. we're all products of our environment, and obviously his environment was a stupid one, and here he is. Look at him. Stupid, at the battlefield, outmatched. Look at this moron. This is why this moron was fired. That's the shittiest intern of all time. But the battlefield is filled with a lot of good people, good fans. They want to come down and see professional wrestling. It's been such an experience to watch this and become friends with everybody. And that's what makes this so difficult for me. That's what makes this so hard for me. Because it's like a family, man. It's like a family at the battlefield. And right now, I've built such a strong bond with everyone there, from the top to the bottom, from the refs to the managers to the crew in the back. Even though these refs can't count to 3 if their life depends on it, you know what? They show up to work and they're ready to kill it. So that's why. And Casey Navarro, like such a good friend of mine, Afa Jr., such a good friend of mine, everybody at the battlefield is such a good friend of mine. But that doesn't matter anymore. That doesn't matter anymore, because there's only one thing that matters, and that's your name. And if your name... Yeah, listen, pay attention.
You're a piece of shit. Get it. Don't bother this guy. Don't ever approach Slade like that. Don't approach Slade like that. It's not going to work out well for you.
Yeah, it's not. Listen well. This is Spencer Slade. I came here to help Alpha, to learn, to do commentary, but once I put the suit on, I didn't tell him to tell me to put a suit on. He told me to put on this suit, and I put on the suit, and I looked in the mirror, and I saw what I am, and I am the greatest manager in the history of professional wrestling, and I have found my prime specimen, Spencer Slade, who is ready to deliver suplex and submission and anything else I tell him to do. I flip the switch, and he snaps, and we're sick of the bullshit at the battlefield. This is the man that should be the champion of the world, not Casey Navarro. I told you this is going to be difficult for me, but you know what? You're all good friends, but sometimes it's better to make good enemies. And if your name's not Spencer Slade, you are on the list. You have been warned, battlefield. I am going to do everything in my power to take full control of Spencer Slade at the battlefield and take him to where he belongs, which is at the top of Mount Olympus with the rest of the Greek gods. Whether you're a fan or a piece of crap on the roster, it doesn't matter. I get it done in one take, and Spencer Slade gets it done in one match. And we did our thing. You've seen it if you watched the rise of the Savage, becoming Savage. You want to talk about becoming Savage? This is becoming Savage. This is what it means to become Savage. To do whatever it takes to get the job done. To do whatever it takes to get the job done. And the job is to be the world champion. The job is to be the longest reigning Battlefield champion of all time. The longest reigning NWA champion of all time. The longest reigning NXT champion of all time. And then go to the Royal Rumble and win it. And whoever the hell is champion at that time, whether your name's Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns, you're gonna bleed and you're gonna pay. The time for games is over. Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, Spencer Slade has arrived. And he has a Savage by his side. You can ask Joseph East what it felt like to get annihilated by Spencer Slade, to get hit with a Savage Slam. Spencer Slade does exactly what he needs to do to be in the best shape of his life, ready to eliminate anybody in his way, including you stupid fans who can't mind your business, who can't keep your mouth shut.
Luck when you're provided with destiny, and that's what you're looking at right here. The stars have aligned. And together, what we're going to do this year in 2024 alone, it's going to go down as the greatest career in the history of an independent wrestler's life. That's what you're about to see right now. You're looking at the independent wrestler of the year, and his name is Spencer Slade.
SNS established 2024. Don't you forget it. Everyone at the battlefield has been warned. You can believe Spencer Slade is training right now harder than you are, earlier than you are. Guess what? So am I! I'm going to be in the ring training. I'm going to be at the gym working out. My job right now is to become the ultimate version of Savage. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I have what it takes. I have the will to do what is required of me, and I have big plans, and I have big money backing me up, because that's what the Savage Kingdom is about. It's about making money and crowning champions. And a champion is going to be crowned very soon. Inspiration for these titles from Afa Jr., all the beautiful titles he's had made over the years and will continue to have, are compliments of Mr. Ruda over here. You go to this man to take care of your needs. And by compliments, I mean you pay him. You pay him, and you get what you pay for. Quality titles from Ruda Entertainment. I can't believe he works with this bum tantalizing Tony. That's me with FTR and me with Mike Tyson. Thunder Rosa and me are very good friends. Ricky Starks, Bret Hart, legends after legends. This is what my life has turned into. My life has become a story, a movie, a cinema, a masterpiece, building lifelong relationships off of professional wrestling, and it's a blessing, man. Just like Casey Navarro is blessed, so is Savage. The Godfather, Jack Balian, big help to Savage. Wrestling Universe, tremendous part of becoming Savage. Lewis, do something, man. Shout out to Jack. He is the man. The WrestlingUniverse.com, the best goddamn wrestling toy store of all time. And he is hardcore. Signings all year long. That's what it's about. That's what the vendor game is about. I got into the vendor game, started bringing in talent, and I only bring in top talent like Speedball Mike Bailey, like Jacob Fatu. You see what he's doing on TV right now. I see it, and I knew it before it happened. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. That's my oos right there, man. For life, anything he ever needs, I'm one phone call away, and anyone in his family has the same privilege, because that's what being an oos is about. Ken Anderson is an oos. Victoria Crawford's an oos. They're family. These are family now, man. The vendors are family. The wrestlers are family. That's what wrestling is about. It is a fraternity. But truth be told, family, friends, two different things. And in this business, you can only do one of two things. You can either make friends or you can make money. Everybody else is family. Everyone you see on this screen, I have built a close bond to, and I've utilized all my resources with everything I've had to do to bring talent to the wrestling universe, to work with the wrestling universe with all the talent that they bring, and just help them with whatever they need. And you should too. WrestlingUniverse.com. Pick up some figures. Go meet a wrestler. It's literally the coolest store in the world. That's why I bring Jimmy Hart there. Who doesn't want to meet Jimmy Hart or Kurt Angle? Shout out to Dylan Hines, who brought in Kurt Angle, gave me the honor of allowing me to work with him and hang out with him and take care of him while he waited to go to the Wrestling Universe to meet the fans that are waiting for hours to drink milk with Kurt Angle. Live in Queens, New York, I bring to you the Wrestling Universe, the best wrestling store in the world today. And this isn't a commercial. This is just a way of life. The Wrestling Universe means more to me than I even have words to say. I can't describe the gratitude I feel to the men that run that store. The man in that picture, Dylan Hines, Sid Justice. Class act, man. Class act. He wanted good wine. We took him to Uncle Jack's. Then I bring in Sabu, and he asked me to do a podcast. And you know what, Sabu? If you want to, I'm one phone call away, bro, because I got you. And Crowbar, we're friends right now, but in a few months, I hope you can forgive me for what I'm about to do.
I got a small window to get the fans in and get my extra sign. So, enough with the distraction. Come on, man. Sign, fucker, sign. That's what he wants signed all day long. All day long. Sign, fucker, sign. It's all good. Remember, sign, fucker, sign.
That's right.
No
You're here.
BS.
You're here.
Cult hero. ESS.
You're here with the past and the future of professional wrestling.
Go fuck yourself.
Here on the Party with Marty.
Go fuck yourself, motherfucker.
Soon we'll have.
Yes, that is Eric Sims, man, and I bet that's not the only thing you have that small. No, I'm just joking, Sims. This guy was the late, great manager of the Iron Sheik, used to be his manager, and they had a run, and I look at him like a role model. He taught me a lot. He helped me book Marty Jannetty, and it was a life-changing experience because me and Marty have bonded in a way that I never could have imagined being possible. Growing up watching, big shout out to the crew that day at 80s Wrestling Con, Anthony making me look good. Look at him, Anthony, smile. He loves professional wrestling. He'll be on the road with Savage for life. Marty Jannetty having a great time meeting the fans, talking to the wrestlers. But more than all, I think he had a great time hanging out with Savage and making a connection. It's taken me about a year. He finally started calling me Greek Savage. Shout out to that piece of crap, Toto Atamba. Back to the display. I mean, look at the money set up for Marty Jannetty. Look at the line. He is an attraction. He is a star. He literally started the Attitude Era by getting thrown through that window. I still hate Shawn Michaels to this day for putting Marty through the barbershop window. I mean, it inspired me enough to ask him to do a podcast. I drove.
Had no idea what to expect when going to his house for the.
Now we're getting ready to go see Marty Jannetty live.
Worst. I'm not gonna sit there and take a chance of getting on a plane where the engine.
Really make it to Marty's house, and the party's about to start.
I finally get to Marty's house after driving through 26 billion trees, and his room, this room was a disaster, and I put a Savage touch on it, going through his things and finding things he hasn't seen in years to put them on display for greatness, because that's what Marty Jannetty is. He is greatness personified, one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time, multiple tag team champion, world champion. This guy has a championship in so many different companies, it's ridiculous. Marty Jannetty is a legend. He should have done Playgirl, and maybe he would have been the one to throw Shawn through the window. But here he is. He was getting ready to do the first episode, and that's what we were there for, to do and start and launch the Party with Marty podcast. It's funny, today is like, I think, the 1-year anniversary of the first episode. Make sure you're following on YouTube, the Party with Marty podcast. It's guaranteed to always be a good time. And like I said, working with Marty Jannetty has opened a multitude of doors, working with Rob Van Dam, Victoria Crawford, Tanaka, Al Snow, so many different opportunities, and I can't even begin to tell you the list of guests we have coming on over the next few months. It is huge. It is shocking. Marty Jannetty is the man. Wrestle Bash happens, and that's what it's about, the vendor game. You got to keep going. You got to make a name for yourself. You got to keep rolling, and we went in hot with Haku, Casey Navarro, the Black Dahlia. We had a beautiful interview with Haku, a sit down there. I let him know he was the real tribal chief. Rob Van Dam, always ready to have a good time, and moments like this, in a second, you're going to see a beautiful moment between Rob Van Dam and Haku, and, you know, Billy Gunn was there with Earl Hebner. Enzo Amore, always a class act. But see, seeing these moments like this, it makes doing these trips worth it. You know, these trips are not easy. You got to drive. You got to bring all your stuff. You got to set up. I mean, a lot of these people that do these shows, they do not bring much. They just bring autographs and pens. Savage is not like that. I want to have a proper display to celebrate these fans like we did at Legends Fan Fest, where we had a fantastic time at the Suplex Vintage Wrestling. Great store in downtown Philadelphia. They have sneakers as well. Big sneaker store down the block. Make sure to check them out. Shout out to Cretex and Gilch for helping out that day. Waffle Mania was wild, especially when it got crashed by Savage. Like I said, my life has been like a movie these past 3 years in the ring with legends left and right, and a lot of them telling me that I'm good at what I do. David LaGreca's even a fan. Al Snow is a fan. I mean, it's getting serious over here. I'm trying to do God's work. I'm trying to work with Marty Jannetty, a man who is used to partying more than anyone on planet Earth, and I'm trying to keep him laser focused. And guess what? Now he's keeping me laser focused. He's so on point with work and getting ready for the podcast, getting ready for signings, getting ready to make a lot of money, because that's what Marty Jannetty is, a money-making machine, baby. And that's why we're bringing him to StarCast. First thing I got to do, though, is go get that pizza with my boy Mario. Anthony, big shout-out to you for coming and helping with StarCast. And my God, did we have a good time in Chicago. Maybe too much of a good time. I hypothetically got kicked out of the event because of some nonsense. And Marty was like, dude, how do you get kicked out of an event? I'm the one that gets fired. I'm the one that gets kicked out. I told him it's because I'm a savage, man. I'm a savage. And I don't give a fuck. I know the truth. And so do you. And that's good enough for me. But back to Marty Jannetty. Having a great time, hanging out with some of the coolest, most famous, popular wrestlers in the world today. And I can't tell you how many wrestlers just come up to him and talk to him.
New York City, Savage. We're live from the Rockefeller Center. We're about to go to the Busted Open party.
Always got to rep and got to look good when you're talking about Busted Open, when you're talking about New York City, when you're talking about Madison Square Garden, the stuff that legends are made of. I'll be working for the WWE one day. You can believe that. I've met all the legends before, and now I'm going to work with them, or they're going to work for me. I hired Swerve Strickland because I know what a champion looks like, and I saw championship material in this man's eyes the first moment I saw him on television. That's why I had to make this interview go viral.
Tomorrow night, World's End. It's over. Keith Lee, you will not have a happy new year. Good job, man.
Right now, we on the climb. We on the climb. We trying to take over this whole damn thing, and we're actually taking it over. So this is what's happening in reality. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tony Khan.
Yeah, shout out to everybody who came through to meet Swerve Strickland that day, that night. It was hyped. It was busy. Swerve Strickland absolutely killed it. I built an incredible friendship with him. WrestleMania. And now it's time for WrestleMania because we're back on the road with Marty Jannetty because it's time to show out. And I told Marty I was going to have a conversation with a man. I said this 5-year-old little boy in that picture right there, he's going to find a way to talk to The Rock. He's going to find a way to get in that room and talk to The Rock and have a conversation with him. And that's exactly what I did live in Philadelphia in front of 10,000 Cody Crybaby bitch-ass cockroaches, the lowest form of scum on planet Earth. Savage was there to let everyone know exactly who my client Spencer Slade is and what we're about to do. And if you need any help, Final Boss, if you need any help ever, anytime in the world, Savage will be there for you. Spencer Slade will be there for you because you are the Final Boss. But the road must continue. The manifestation was complete, and the Savage spoke to the Great One, and the Great One acknowledged me, and WrestleCon was on fire. I couldn't walk 2 feet without someone pointing at me, talking to me, telling me how cool I am. I know how cool I am. I know everything about this business. That puppy, by the way, is a boss. That's Katie Forbes' puppy. Even Marty had to check out the puppies. Not those puppies, the puppy. Oh, snow in the house. Marty just having a grand old time in WrestleCon. Meeting the stars, making my way around. A lot of them I already know. Walking the floor with my crew, spotting some friends. Having a good time, even shaking his bum's hand. Make sure you check out Josh Chernoff and DDP, a very good friend of mine. My next signing, actually, September 28th, Rob Van Dam. I got something in the works with him next year. If he says okay, which I think he might, because he likes to make money. That's what this business is about. Now, scissor me, daddy! Casey Navarro, is he joining them? Eric Sims, no BS, with ESS. I can't believe Tony is there again. This guy follows me everywhere, and the Godfather, man, one of the coolest cats in the business, like by far, has amazing stories, just like Marty has amazing fans. Teal Piper, Zaya Brookside, Chris Van Vliet. This weekend was lit, man. Hacksaw Jim Duggan coming by to hug Marty Jannetty. That's right, you can't just say Savage, especially when you're walking into WrestleMania and you go to everybody. You go up every single aisle, up and down, saying the same thing. Fuck Cody Rhodes. I would go up to people and say, hey, how you doing? And then I'd shake their hand. A lot of them, I would put my hand out to shake their hand and say, fuck Cody Rhodes. And you see Savage, I told you all. Ringside, man, if you can't afford it, it's okay. I understand. I had to go talk to Cody's daddy and tell him what I thought about his son. And with the party keeps on moving. Shout out to my brother-in-law, connecting me with LPW. I'll be working with them, doing a lot of interviews, a lot of shoots. I'm going to be working with the students of LPW, and they have a lot of promising potential. And this is where House of Glory shows take place. These are their students. Another great facility in New York City. If you're in the New York area and you want to train, I highly suggest checking out House of Glory. Amazing Red is still as good as I remember him 20 plus years ago, maybe even faster. And he had a match against Swerve Strickland that was coming up that Savage was getting ready to go to because,
City,
hold on.
Salvatore Promotions, come on down and see Luchasaurus, future AEW champion.
I'm trying to back up this in one take. Let's see if we can get that done. I'm used to being on TV, and I believe that Luchasaurus or Killswitch will be champion. And then I went to AEW. Why not, man? Show up! Best looking dude in the house! Is it me or is it MJF? I don't know. But great action all night long. Seeing the stars ringside. Having a great time talking to my people, talking to my friends. And seeing greatness. There was a lot of greatness on display this night. Specifically with Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland, who stole the show, had the best match of the night, without a doubt. It's in contention for match of the year. It was very, very compelling stuff here. We all thought Will had a shot, but I should have known better, because Swerve is that guy. Swerve is that guy. He is your AEW World Heavyweight Champion, and it will be that way for a long time. Because he has Prince Nana by his side. Because he has Swerve Strickland by his side. And that's what it's about. Prince Nana wants me to help him.
Prince Nana, and you know who? The Greek Savage. Tell him, Savage.
I'm here with Prince Nana outside of House of Glory. We're getting ready to watch some professional wrestling tonight. And there's no better way to get ready for some professional wrestling than maybe with the best coffee in the world today, Prince Nana Coffee. No wonder Savage is so hyped. It's time for professional wrestling.
That's
here
right.
With Prince Nana.
That's right, and he's the next greatest manager after Prince Nana.
That's true. That's true. We'll see you later tonight here at House of Glory.
Prince Nana Coffee was the only reason I was able to get this documentary done in less than 48 hours. High intensity was exactly that. 052! First time meeting him, letting him know he is the future. Has a great look, has a great personality, vibrant, full of life, young, hungry, ready to tear the business apart. We could be seeing him on SmackDown any day now. He's showing out in Queens, New York, Jamaica, New York, House of Glory. Full house on display. They were there to see Zilla. They were there to see Swerve. They were there to watch Amazing Red have a match against the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, House of Glory. And this take right here, it's still going because I want to go to sleep. God damn it, this match was good. The whole night was good. This whole night was another movie, man. Like I told you, my life has been a movie. Becoming a Savage has turned me into the ultimate enjoyer of professional wrestling. I've never loved it more in my life. Look at the packed house. Fire! Fire! Just fire! Can you hear the heat? Can you hear the crowd? Listen! Just shut your mouth and listen for a moment when Swerve steps through this door, man. Being next to Swerve Strickland. What an honor, man! Hell yeah, bro. We're still going with this take. Just sitting here and vibing and grooving with the music and the match. I remember this night like it was last night, and I'll feel like that 33 years from now. No one in this business has done more than me in the last 3 years as far as a manager or a fan is concerned, or a vendor or a promoter or a podcaster or a producer or an agent and a father and a husband. King Nana. I'm going to call you King Nana because I'm your prince now, bro. Swerve Strickland, an honor as always. Anything you ever need, Savage has your back. Look at that. Look at Jacob Butler. He's doing so good. Just like Spencer Slade is. He's going to be a world champion. And we're going to kill ourselves to get the job done. Not only at the battlefield, where you can come and train as well. If you're anywhere near Broadheadsville, Pennsylvania, come down to the battlefield where Afa Anoai can turn you into a beast. My man standing next to Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, that's a faction. That sounds like a cheat code. Subscribe today to BPW's YouTube page. DJ Storms, my co-host. I co-host on the Savage Storm Super Wrestling Show, live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Coming up soon, the interview with Marty Jannetty. And you can meet DDP Diamond Dallas Page at the Wrestling Universe, September 28th, 12 to 4 p.m. Come on down, bring all your stuff to get signed and have a good time. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. Becoming Savage. Thank you for watching. You can check out the weekly update, AEW, WWE every Tuesday, Wednesday night, 10:30. Go follow my cousin Creed Text. Shout out to him, bro. Choke slam, hit you raw. This is wrestling with Savage. Back down, hold the title. This is wrestling with Savage.
The real boss of all bosses. Pile drivers, hip tosses. We holding multiple titles while you keep stacking up losses. Roster talent that flosses. Y'all can't even present the match. I'm Minotaur in his army, breaking backs upon the mats.
Savage Kingdom, march on bones. Savage Kingdom, fight, we reign. Savage Kingdom.
Not what you think it is. See, time is, here it is, ready. Made just for me. Almost as good as this glass of wine I wanted. I thought about it and someone rang it to me. That's just the way my life works. I have it that goddamn good. And your time, it's up, Crowbar. Crowbar, is that you? Is that you, Crowbar? Are you out there looking at me? Is that you shining this light on me? They say, why do you wear shades at night, Greek? Why do you wear shades at night? You know why I wear shades at night? Because the stars are bright when you are me. Everywhere I go, everybody wants to know what is next, what is coming up. Savage. Becoming Savage, that's what I've been doing. I've been spending 3 years becoming Savage. I've been spending 3 years working and busting my ass and going around the world to make the connections to get me to where I am today. And I manifested all of it, Crowbar. I made it all happen like this. Wrestled almost 25 years ago. I have been watching you for almost 30 plus years. I know over 30 years you've been doing this, man. You've been doing it longer than almost anybody I know. And better for a long time. I mean, Christ, I want to see you in the ring with Chris Jericho. I saw your story on the dirt sheets, right? You're trying to stay relevant, Crowbar. You know, you got to stay relevant. You got to work. You got to go to the shows. But I got bad news for you because you picked the wrong show to go to on October 19th. My list of clients is so long and so bright, it's filled with monsters that are ready to attack and do anything I say. So the client that I have coming for you on October 19th at Battle in the Borough, someone very special. They're gonna be talking about that day for a long time. They're gonna be saying things like, did you see that suplex? Did you see that submission? Why didn't Crowbar tap out? Is he crazy? He should have tapped out. Crowbar should, make sure you tap out, Crowbar, because if you don't, you're being rehabbed for a long time, maybe worse, maybe in a body bag if you take it to the next level, which I recommend you don't, because my bloodline is older than anything that Roman, The Rock, or any one of the Usos have. And I have Usos that work for me and they understand what a Greek Savage is. I'm here to re-educate the people on my people, the Greeks. We invented wrestling. It's in my blood. You may be timeless, and you may be stuck in 1950 or 60 or whatever year you were born in. But this, here, right now, this is the Savage era. Welcome to your new reality.